Hi friends, welcome to a Cherry on Top YouTube Hop for June. This month we are creating project choosing our favorite thing. Whether it's a favorite book, food, drink, whatever it is, that's what the challenge is. I am starting by cutting down the papers. The blue pattern paper is measured 8.5 by 11, and then the tiny definition print paper is measured 7.5 by 10 inch. I like to do this so that I can create a fun border for the layout. And so I'm just mounting that to the center to create the border. And if you are working with tiny print paper, make sure that you have it faced right and it's not upside down, because it's easy to do. And I printed the pictures on 4x6 photo paper in a collage so that I could make these small prints. And so I'm cutting those down. I'm not going to use all of them, but I like to just save myself time and cut what I think I'm going to use. For the main layout, the main thing I wanted to do was create a fun backwash of color using these beautiful Rub-ons from 49 Market's Kaleidoscope collection. I love them so much, so that's really the main technique that I wanted to use today, was to use those to create a fun backwash for the layout. And it's going to look really great with the multiple photos and all the die cuts. So to begin, I'm just cutting out the ones that I'm going to use. I love Rub-ons because you can layer them together and do so much with them. And I am trying to get an idea of what design I'm going to go with this layout, because I don't really have a plan other than using the Rub-ons for the background. And I decided those pictures are going to be too big, even when I created a collage, to make them small. So I'm going to put them aside for now and get the Rub-ons down. And I lost my tool that came with the Rub-ons, so I'm going to use a palette knife. You can use a palette knife and scrape down the Rub-on. It works great. And then when you're using Rub-ons, just make sure you put enough pressure down so that you get that Rub-on on that paper. Because sometimes it doesn't go down the first time, and you just have to smooth it out and then pull gently. And then as you're lifting that clear film, just kind of make sure that the Rub-on's coming, on the paper and not the film. And if it's still on the film, just scrape down a little bit with your nail or the tool and then lift the film up. They're super easy to work with. So I'm just layering them down. And I do like using the way the two-tone looks with the two blues together and the greens. So there's definitely a format that I'm using for this layout and where the colors are going. And I think it's creating a nice serene background. What do you think? It looks so good. And I didn't really need this print, but hey, why not? I can never have too much on my layout. So I'm going to add that to the blue, since the green Rub-on already had the similar print. And now I'm going to pull some die cuts out that I think I may use. I do this before I even start, just to save myself time, so I don't have to dig around too much to figure out what I want to use. Sometimes the embellishments work, sometimes I don't even use half of them, but just to have an idea. So I'm moving these pictures around, and I'm thinking this is not going to work. So I decided to punch them out using my square punch by Creative Memories. And I haven't used this tool in a long time, so this is perfect. And so I'm making the best of what I have. So I'm cutting down these pictures that I think I may use and making sure I crop it the way I want the picture to look, okay? And then once those are cropped, I'm going to keep the picture of me and Moxie bigger, because that'll be fine. And now those little punch photos fit perfectly in those little frames. So that's cool. I didn't expect that. And I'm missing a frame, so I'm going to make my own. So I'm going to mount down the photo to the center of that die cut, and then I'm going to put a die cut frame, staple that on there, and then fussy cut around there just to create my own frame for that photo. And it's going to look nice. So I am being careful where these frames go and the colors. And I actually like how this is coming along. So the red and the green, if you look at the Rub-ons, those frames are pretty much where the colors are, except for the green frame. But that's okay. It works great. I'm mounting down this picture, and I'm going to trim the excess off just to create a frame for the photo, since I am out of frames. And that's great. And now I'm going to put everything where they need to go before I mount anything down. And then, one by one, I'm going to remove the pieces and put them back down. I don't want to move everything at once because then I'm going to lose the whole design. And it's just easier just to do one at a time. And put it where it goes, right? And then move on to the next one. Super fun. I'm going to use foam squares for this one just to add dimension. That way the layout doesn't look too flat. And I'm going to do the same one for this one. But I really like the doily, and I'm going to make that work for this layout. Just to add some more color down there. And then I'm going to make sure that end doesn't tuck, so everything has a nice flow. There are no choppy edges or anything. Everything looks so neat and clean, and that's the look that I'm going for. Initially, I was going to put the Moments die cut at the top of the layout, but then I thought if I did that, it would look like it's hanging. It wouldn't look too good up there by itself. So then I decided, well, everything is in the middle of the layout. Let's keep everything in the center of the layout. And that's the overall design. And with the Rub-ons, the backwash, it looks so great. I love it. And now I'm pulling some more die cuts out that I might use, and then I'm just going to glue those down. Make sure you have these where you want them to be before you glue them down, because once you glue it, it's stuck. And trust me, you don't want to rip these off and try and get them in a different place. You'll ruin the layout. I've ruined many doing that. So make sure you got everything where it needs to be before you glue them down. And I don't have a format for this. Like I said, before I start the layout, I pull the die cuts I want to use, or I think I might want to use, and then I just move them around the layout to see where they're going to look good. You know, just play with it. And then I'm using some butterflies, and I'm bending the butterflies in half so that I can add dimension, so they're not flat on the layout. And then I'm using some foam strips to pop up the sentiment on the bottom of that matted photo. I love it. And these enamel dots are cute, so I'm going to add a couple of those on here because you cannot have too many embellishments. And then I'm going to glue this down. This is a super cute little tag. It's got like a little pin on it. I mean, it's just gorgeous. So now I'm looking at the layout and I'm thinking, it's still missing something. What am I going to do? I'm going to add some flowers, and I'm going to bend them so they're not flat and glue them with the same. I'm taking flowers of the same color that will go with the frame, okay? That way it has a nice look through the whole layout. And don't be afraid to cut these laser dies to make them work for you. I cut the stems off. I'll cut part of the flowers off. Whatever works for you. You don't have to use the whole piece. The whole point of this is just I'm trying to frame these photos with some flowers so that the frames aren't too boring around the edges. So then I do have a format for this. So part of that flower is going to be tucked behind that frame and then overlap some of the flowers over the frame so that you pull everything together in a nice way. And it just helps to add layers and make it pop so the layout's not flat. I just love it so much. I'm going to add another flower under here. I'm going to cut the stems off and I'm going to bend the flowers up a little bit and glue them under there as well. So pretty, see? But just be careful when you bend them up so you don't break them. And then my last little greenery is going to go here. And I'm going to glue that. And again, I cut that down to make it work for me. And I'm going to use a little hummingbird. I think it's a hummingbird. I'm going to use a foam square to pop that up, just to add dimension. And then there's this cute little dragonfly. I could not use him. It goes perfectly within that little frame there. And there it is. There's my layout. I hope I inspired you today to try using Rub-ons on your next project. Be sure to like this post and check out the team's work. We have a lot of exciting projects for you today. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope you have a wonderful day.